I'm going to hit record, and some more people will probably be getting on, but it is October. Is today the 3rd. So it is a brand new month. You guys know if you go back in your Coach Online office, everything rolls over to 0. So you kind of get a fresh, clean slate. And some of you guys are on it. I have not checked Coach Online office since this morning, but a lot of you guys are making things happen already. So good for you. And let me just say that, hey, Tammy. Oh my gosh, like y'all are my heart. I get so excited about these calls. Like when I see everybody pop on, like I just get all like giddy. And I'm exhausted and I don't feel like I should be giddy, but y'all make me happy. So anyways, October. You guys are killing it with your posts. Like I don't know what y'all been drinking, but you are killing it with your posts. And so I'm really super proud of you guys. And everybody seems really committed to running a challenge group, inviting to that challenge group. And so I can see that in your posts and your wording and your boldness. So I'm excited for you guys. I know October, November, December can honestly typically be kind of harder months. But I have great expectations for you guys, and even if if there's just those 3 people that you help this month, and you don't hit like 18 or 20, like some of you guys have been doing, that's awesome. Because really and truly, like our goal for these months is, you'll see me talking about it, but our goal is not, I'm not going to be talking about like 20-pound weight loss. I'm not going to be talking about like completely clean eating. I'm going to be talking about the 80-20 rule, making it through the holidays, and telling people, we're not aiming to do this perfectly. We are aiming to take care of ourselves, make our health a priority, splurge, have our treats, but get back on track, and to, definitely, the goal will be not to gain 20 pounds, quite honestly, because a lot of people gain a lot of weight during the holidays. So my focus for my business and for my challengers will definitely be to, just to kind of not necessarily maintain, but to definitely practice that 80-20 rule and, figure out how to make some of those treats that we have, not so bad. Like I did that video tonight on my like page, and I compared Matt's 15-pound chocolate pumpkin to my Unreal Reese's cup, whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called. They're peanut butter cups. And so, that's what I want people to see, is that you can still enjoy the holidays, but do it in moderation, and learn to swap out things. And, our goal would not to be gain all that weight and be ahead of the game when January comes around. Okay. So that's kind of the focus for myself for October, November, December. And I'm going to go ahead and share. Let me manage you guys first. Let me make sure everybody's muted. And of course, you guys know how to unmute yourself if you want to ask me something. But so it's, look, it says 11/16/2017. Y'all, I am not with it today. But it's October 3rd. Look down at the bottom. Don't look up at the top. And we are going to be talking about, Emily's going to talk about Shakeology for us in a little bit, because she is a nutritionist and she's just going to share some things with us about how to talk about it. But I wanted to share first. So this was September. Y'all, this was September. This is our team. Like, that is amazing. And so, some people had 2 points. Some people had no points. Lainey had 18 points. But no matter where you fell at on this list, like, we made a dent in some people's lives in September. And I am super proud of that. And you guys should all be proud of that. If you hit your goal, that's awesome. If you didn't hit your goal, there's no denying that looking at this, that you did something good. Like, it doesn't matter how many points you made. How many points you had, you still made an impact on somebody's life. Maybe you signed up a new coach. Maybe you got somebody started. Maybe, one of your old challengers decided to jump back in it, or maybe somebody, just saw you and was inspired to do something else. Like, I don't want you guys to get so caught up in the numbers that it it brings you down. And it, just kind of makes you second guess what your purpose is here. Because I can tell you, each and every person that's here, that's showing up, that is posting, that's encouraging, you are touching people. And so I tallied it up, and including my Success Club points, we impacted 49 people in the month of September. And that is awesome. Like, we should all be so proud of that. And I really and truly am super proud of you guys. So for October, these 4 ladies are already on the ball. They have already started recruiting and getting people for their next challenge groups, and that is so exciting. Did everybody see Alicia's post last night that she did, her before and after? She's lost almost 60 pounds, or maybe it was 60 pounds. But that, y'all, that seriously, like, that is why we coach. That is why we help people. And it's not just about weight loss, but that is no small thing that she has done. She has worked really, really hard. I'm so, so proud of her. And so let me go back. So there's a couple things that Beachbody, they're kind of rolling out, and it is something that I heard Kim Carver share about today. But have you guys seen anything yet about the first 30 for new coaches, the new training group or new training curriculum for new coaches? Starting on October 10th, they have this kind of new approach to getting new coaches started, right? And there is basically, like, before they would send you this long email, all of this stuff, this information, all these things to do. I don't even remember what my new coach email had in it. You guys could probably tell me better than I could remember, but apparently it was a lot of information. Now there's just like an 8-minute video that you watch, and he said it was in the Coach Online office, but I can't find it. He said it was under training. But basically, as we are recruiting new coaches, now the process, like it's not information overload. It's very simplified, and their goal is for, in the first 30 minutes, for them to get this new coach email, for them to watch this video. It's an 8-minute video. It takes them through setting up their coach websites, into their Coach Online office, and it tells them, within the next 24 hours, contact your coach. So within the first 30 hours, they fill out, it's a new simplified quick start guide, business quick start guide, and get them in our challenge group, shout them out, and go through Coach Basics in the first 30 days. That's why it's called the first 30. It's like the first 30 minutes, the first 30 hours, and then the first 30 days. Beachbody has these goals for these new coaches. And I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to, there's no way not to be overwhelmed as a new coach. There's just no way. Everybody's going to be overwhelmed. That's totally normal. If you're on this call, you're a new coach and you're overwhelmed, you're right where you should be. You should be overwhelmed because it's just a lot of information. But we break it down in Coach Basics, and we are here to help you. And you can do it. Trust me, you can do it. But the other thing, that was one of the new things that I wanted to share with you guys, but I was going to show you, but I couldn't find the information. The other thing is, obviously, Core de Force launched today. Who all did Core de Force? Has everybody done it? If you haven't done it, seriously, I would go push play tonight before you go to bed. Snap a picture of you holding a move or something and talk about the workout. And this is it. When you go into Coach Online Office, you can just click try it now. I don't know if that's going to work. But also, if you haven't done it yet, when Country Heat came out, I actually downloaded it. You can save a workout on your iPad or your iPhone to your device, and it will save it for a little while. And so, I actually saved it to my iPad, and I did it the next day. So if you haven't done it yet, don't feel like you have missed your chance. You can do it before you go to bed and post a picture and talk about it, or you can do it tomorrow and share something from it. But Core de Force, I think, is going to be a pretty good program for us to promote. It officially launches on October 31st, I think. But, definitely don't start promoting this until you hit Success Club for October, because you're not going to be able to use it to hit Success Club, really. But definitely do it. Talk about it. It's going to be, a lot of people love MMA style workouts. You don't have to be salesy about it. Just say something about how it's a 30-minute workout, MMA style boxing workout. It focuses on your core strength, and it launches October 31st. So that's a big thing. As coaches, you don't hear, I'm not salesy. I don't throw names of programs or Beachbody out there, but when a new program does come out, you know, our job is to educate people. Our job is to do it. Like I will buy the program, I will do it start to finish. I will share my results, even if I don't love it. I did not. I will have to say stick with Country Heat because I just couldn't do it. But you know, I I do try to do the workouts and, you know, be proof that the products work. That's vital behavior number one. So that sneak peek is there today. And again, like save it to your iPad, your iPhone. You can do it in the morning and share it tomorrow if you haven't already done it. But it's a pretty fun. It's really a fun program. So let me go back to my slides and so I shared this with you guys in our team page as far as my coach calendar that I made for October, but I wanted to show you here and kind of go through it with you a little bit. So for myself, for my business, you know, obviously our training group started today. The 4 vital behaviors started today. Our new coach training and the Emerald to Diamond training group. So if you're not in a training this month and you need to be, let me know so I can get you plugged in. You know, these training groups, it doesn't matter where you're at. I've always been in some type of training group. I've been a coach for 2 years. And so it's always important just to be plugged in somewhere so that you're getting that interaction. It's just like being in a fitness challenge group. It just keeps you on track, keeps you fueled with new ideas, and keeps you accountable. So my challenge group for October will start October 17th. And if you are a new coach and you're inviting to that one, that's what you are going to be inviting to that date. And so the way I plan it out is that you see that where it says daily jabs for my Fall in Love with Your Fitness challenge group. So when I say jab, what I'm talking about is I'm going to talk about things that are going to catch people's attention. And it is just like boxing. It's that jab, 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 right hook. My jabs are my daily posts. So I'm going to talk about fast and easy crock pot meals. I'm going to talk about, like I did, that swapping out certain sweets for other sweets. I'm going to talk about the holidays and how Shakeology helps control sugar cravings. And I'm going to talk about my meal plans and the fact that my workouts are only 30 minutes, you know, and just, you know, it's a busy season filled with lots of temptation. So those are going to be my jabs, talking about how I make it work in my own life. Because, you know, you're going to hear excuses. I'm too busy. My kids have ball games. You know, I don't know how to, I can't get my family to eat what I eat. Like those are a lot of common excuses people make or reasons. And so those are things I'm going to talk about. And those are my jabs. And my right hook is whenever I invite somebody to a challenge group. So, you know, I want with my post to get them thinking about, you know, how they can make this work, or I want to relate to them when we talk about sharing your story. You know, it's about, you know, talking about the things that you struggle with. Why did you get started? You know, what makes you stick with this, and kind of appealing to people emotionally as well as practically. And so that when you post that challenge group invite, or when you post your coaching announcement, or when you send someone a private invite to your challenge group, then they're already kind of thinking about it because they've been reading your posts. And so it's just that right hook to give them actually something to do with all that information, you know, a place to go, you know, an outlet for actually doing something to get started to make those healthy changes. So those are my jabs, okay? And I'm going to be inviting. I started today, and I will go until that challenge group starts. And then I'm going to switch to coaching. If I'm at Success Club by the 17th, even before that, because I want to hit Success Club before we go on our retreat. And you know, the retreat, for those of you going, will be an opportunity to talk about coaching, to really, you know, really talk it up, to invite people during that period, to talk about the community part of it, the training part of it, you know, all those the relationships that you've made as a coach. And so I will use that to talk about coaching. And I will host the sneak peek like we did this last month on the 26th. I don't know if any of you guys want to do that with me, like Carrie and Ann and I did. You know, I think that would be great to do it as a team. If not, then Carrie and Ann and I will probably do it again. But, you know, I'll talk about coaching. I'll talk about how I make time for coaching. I'll talk about, you know, the benefits, whether it be income or the prizes or the relationship, or, you know, like our team calls or trainings. And again, just how do I fit coaching into my life? I'm a busy person. Like I have a full-time job. I have 2 kids. I have a husband. I have church responsibilities, you know, like how do I make it work? And so those will be my jabs. Those will be what my posts are about as far as my coaching. And my right hook is that invitation to the sneak peek, okay? And so that's what That's what I'm going to do to recruit for coaching. I will run a free group at the end of the month. It says tailgate. I'm not sure if that's what I'm going to do for sure, but it will be a fall related challenge group, workout, clean eating for 5 days, and I invite people to that. And, I did have really good success with my 7-day challenge group that just ended yesterday. So I'm in lots of conversations with those people about joining my next challenge group. And so I run a free 5-day challenge group for my business. That's, that's for me to find new people and start new conversations. If you're a new coach and that overwhelms you, don't think that you have to do it, but a free group is really a good way to kind of practice running a challenge group and to help people kind of get to know what you're about and what your goal is. And like, it gives you an opportunity to help people. Honestly, that's one of the ways, yes, I connect with new people, but it's also a way that I can give back to people, because a lot of those people won't ever join a challenge group. But it was a way for me to give something away, whether it's a challenge group or the workouts or something like that. Super Saturday is October 29th. We are doing it here. If you live locally, definitely try to make it a priority to get to Super Saturday. We will we'll work out, we'll watch training and hear about corporate news and things like that. We'll have Shakeology. It's a really good event to invite people who might be interested in coaching, or if you've got discount coaches who you think would make good coaches or challengers, invite them to a Super Saturday. If you don't live here, there are Super Saturdays all over the nation. Just go to the Coach Online office and look for Super Saturdays and find one close to you. And I am planning on doing a post. Well, no. A 3-day refresh is a really good idea, but I think Emily and I are actually going to start our ultimate reset. But if you guys want to put together a 3-day refresh as a team and invite people to do it with you guys, that's a really good idea. I might even run one for people who want to do it. I'll just be doing the ultimate reset. But the 3-day refresh, as you sell challenge packs this month, take advantage of that Kickstart challenge pack, guys. All those challenge packs are on sale this month. The 21-Day Fix, 21-Day Fix Extreme, Country Heat, 22-Minute Hardcore, PIO, Club, all those. And if it says like 21-Day Fix Kickstart, that just means that it comes with everything plus a 3-day refresh. So, as you're selling challenge packs and you talk to people about 3-day refresh, tell them, take advantage of the sale, because you're getting it for like virtually nothing. And so, if people want to do the 3-day refresh after Halloween, that's a really good way for them to get it all, and it'd be very, very cheap. So that is my calendar. I think I saw somebody had a question. Let's see. Somebody have a question? Yeah. Tracy, you don't think you're in a training group? Tracy? I thought you were in the diamond one. I'll make sure. Yeah, I will definitely make sure of that. Do you guys have any questions about that? Like about training groups or challenge groups or Super Saturday or anything like that? Is anybody? No? Okay. Like Dee and Andrea and Becca, there's definitely one near you. You just have to go and find out where it's at. So that was obviously that was my plan. That's kind of how I plan. And so let me show you too. Since I know I'm jabbing, so this is the week of October 3rd, I want to talk about all those things I talked about. So what I do at the beginning of every week is I look at my marketing calendar, I pull out my weekly planner, and I will write down, so like tomorrow I want to talk about Shakeology and how it helps my sugar cravings. On Thursday, we have baseball games, so I'll probably share how I'm going to throw some stuff in the crock pot and have it ready for when we get home so we can eat and then hit that, go out the door and go to baseball practice, but still stay on track with our nutrition, right? And so I just take this and I look at it, and I know that if I want to hit Success Club 10 by October 13th, and if I invite 10 people, maybe 1 or 2 of those people are probably going to buy a challenge pack. So I need to invite such and such number of people every day. So I kind of reverse engineer those goals, and I make out a list of things that I need to post about this week. A number of people that I need to invite this week in order to hit Success Club 10. I need to be connecting with people, adding friends to my Facebook feed, and those are the things that I'm going to do every single day to make sure that I hit those goals, okay? And so that's how I take this calendar and I reverse engineer it, and I plan out. Like, I'm not going to sit down and write out all my posts for a whole month, but I will like make a note on every day this week and just kind of make a list of things that I know that I need to do and things that I need to post about in order to help me hit that goal by the 13th. And so that's how I use my calendar. That's why I make this calendar, as well as being able to show you guys kind of how I do it. And so that's what I do with it. But tonight, I have asked Emily to talk to us about Shakeology, because like as a brand new coach, and even now, like it's still sometimes hard for me to talk about Shakeology. Because that's our number one objection. As a coach, that's the number one objection that you guys are going to get when you invite people to a challenge group. What is Shakeology? I don't want to spend that much on a shake. I don't like to drink things. I want to chew my food. I mean, like there's so many objections around Shakeology. And people, unless we educate them through what we're posting on social media, people are not really going to understand what it's about. And so my goal personally is to talk about Shakeology at least once a week. Like, I don't want to be posting about the nutritional facts about Shakeology. I don't want to be talking about, it has so much vitamin A and all this stuff. People don't care about that. They want to know how it fits into my life, how I make it, how I fit it into my budget, what it does for me physically. And I do think it's important to talk about what's in it. I'm not saying we shouldn't talk about what's in it, but like I can't read the nutrition label to people and expect them to jump up and down and want to buy it. So I've kind of asked Emily to, in my words, I said, dumb it down for us, because she is a certified nutritionist, and she does a really good job about talking about Shakeology and just nutrition in general. So I'm going to let her do that. I'm going to stop share and let Emily share her screen with us. Let me see. You're unmuted. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. See if I can get it up. What are y'all seeing? There we go. Does everybody see that? Okay. Well, thank you, Rachel. I'm not the superstar that you put me on the pedestal for, but I have some experience with nutrition and absolutely love it. I do have 20 years plus now of the fitness exercise world, nutrition, exercise, clinical, non-clinical. And just absolutely love Beachbody. I love the programs. I love the way that the coaching goes, the behavior modifications, the nutrition part. And so I'm just going to run through some of these slides, and we'll talk here in a minute. And please don't hesitate to ask any questions. There is never a dumb question out there. And it's like Rachel said, this is a learning experience for each one of us. So Shakeology, your daily dose of dense nutrition, and it is pretty dense. This next slide, I basically wanted to let you all look at what the nutritional content of it is. Now, this is from the vegan chocolate. That's pretty much all I do is the vegan options. I'm not one of these anti-cow people, don't kill the cows, all this kind of stuff. I just tend to go more toward a plant-based nutrition program. I don't really care for the taste of meat anymore, but I also know what disease-wise, how our plants make a huge impact. So in the vegan chocolates, you have 170 calories per one scoop. You have 4 grams of total fat, and 1 gram of that is saturated. The saturated meaning that it's going to stick to those arteries. Not all the time, but that's what the saturated means, which in a product, that's great. 1 gram of mono unsaturated and 1.5 gram of polyunsaturated fat. And these are the good fats that your body needs. This helps flush out the other fats, so that's a good fat ratio. 300 milligrams of sodium, safe enough for anybody who has blood pressure issues. It's hard to come back and, if somebody had heart issues or something such as that, needed a low sodium nutritional plan, it's really hard to say, well, this isn't for you, because this would be okay for them, especially with all the other nutrients that are in there. Now, here's the big part everybody likes. How many carbs does it have in it? Well, the nutritional value says 18 grams of carbs per scoop. But you also have to remember that you have 5 grams of fiber. So if I were talking to somebody who had diabetes or was really, really looking at their total carbs, you could initially deduct 18 minus 5, and you're going to have 13 grams of those total carbs. Not everybody does that, but at the end of the day, if you ever get a client that gets that nitpicky, then you've got that formula that you can use. But 18 grams of carbs is pretty awesome. I know Tracy probably was watching every carb coming through her body when she was training for her physique, and it's like, how many carbs? So the sugar's 8 grams. This is not anything, your sucrose, any of that type of stuff. It's just your natural sugars. And 8 grams per 170 calorie scoops is pretty good. Then, of course, protein. That's all I hear. That is a big word nowadays in the nutritional field. How many grams of protein? And I did not put this formula on here, but you can initially take your body weight and say half of that, and that's how many grams of protein. Or you can say your total body weight times 1 and have that number too. So I'm about 150 pounds, so 75 to 150 pounds, 150 grams of protein a day is what I could be looking at. So that's just a good formula if anybody asks you. So right there, you got 16 grams of protein. All right, so what does all that mean? Basically, it's a nutritionally dense product considering the calories, the fiber, the carbs, and the proteins. And naturally, that's going to help with blood sugar, which is the biggest factor in people who are trying to lose weight. One of the things about the 21-day fix and all the other nutritional programs that I've noticed with Beachbody, even though people that are doing these nutritional programs, they don't realize that the blood sugar regulation, that is their biggest contributor to their weight loss, is keeping that blood glucose regulated. So with all of those nutrients, that plays a huge part. And of course, the cravings. I don't know about you all, but look, I could live off a cake and a brownie, and that is my ultimate demon. And so this has really helped me, and it just keeps getting better and better. So I just preach it and I love it. Now, can you run Shakeology? Yes and no. And here's the thing. I have people to come in the wellness center because they see me drinking my shake and, see my post and so, and they'll say, Emily, guess what? I made a shake today. And I'm like, all right, what'd you put in it? Oh, I added some cherry flavored yogurt and a half a cup of orange juice. And I'm just sitting there going, oh, okay, yay. But y'all, that has just, bless their hearts. But that's where the education comes in. I don't know if you all saw the new folder, the new recipe things that came in with your Shakeology. This is new since the last batch that I got, and I love it. It's got, I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's got a cup, and it says, 1 scoop of Shakeology, 1 to 2 cups of greens, 1.5 to 1 cup of fruits, 1 to 2 tablespoons of this other stuff, and 1 scoop of your boost if you use that. So those are great guidelines. But y'all, people mess up. They end up with 600 to 700 calories in their shake before they even know it. And they ask us, well, why am I not losing weight? So, stick to your folks and ask them, check out and see what they're mixing with their Shakeology. And that, could be a culprit too. But it's great if you can stick to the recipes and the serving amounts. All right. So believer, achiever, and, believe and achieve it. The stuff works. I have looked at every you know, a lot of different products, and I really, really like this one. Don't oversell the product. You know, Rachel's beat that in our heads, Timmy, everybody else. And, you know, putting it on every post, people get really burnt out. Don't be pushy and insist they have to try this. To me, that's begging. If you do your post and put, you know, how you're feeling, this and that, it's going to sell itself. One thing, don't keep yourself up at night trying to memorize all these ingredients. I mean, I'm looking at a bag right now, and, you know, ashwagandha, astragalus, don't even try it. Nobody knows any of that stuff, and that's not pertinent. You'll have people that will say, well, does it have sucrose in it? Well, does it have this foreign herb in it? I'm allergic to that. And y'all can only imagine my thoughts on that. I keep my thoughts to myself, but I'm sitting here thinking, you are no more allergic to that than I can pronounce it. But don't keep yourself up at night and go OCD on all that. Just know your facts, know your nutritional content, and you'll be okay. Do post naturally your daily life. You know, you're flying out the door and you've got your Shakeology, or you've got your packets sitting in your snack bag. People are going to notice those things. One thing that I do is when I'm taking a picture, sometimes I'll have my bags up on the counter, and I don't necessarily make my Shakeology bag a feature of that picture, but it's there. And so you can bet people want to know what's on those counters. And they're looking around saying, ooh, look at her counters. They're nasty. Or, ooh, look at there. Look at all that junk on there. People are nosy, y'all, and they're going to notice that bag sitting up on that counter. I can grant you. Do post how and when you use, you know, Shakeology. I do mine for breakfast. I come out of the back of the wellness center after I've showered, and here I come with my drink. And they know, you know, and now my members will say, well, what'd you put in it today? And so I'll go through and y'all, they notice. So, you know, put it in with your activities and it will sell itself. And then just be proud of the product. It's getting you to where we want to be, and that's where we want to be. Beachbody business is totally different. I could talk all night at just how coaching, health coaching, people are really reaching out. They need help. They need a friend. They need encouragement. And Beachbody does not just say, look here, you got to sell this much by this time. I mean, it is a total full circle in preparing you to be successful with so many different steps. Of course, we all know the weight loss, lifestyle change industry is a $1 billion industry. And let me grant you, if that person tells you no, and I know this sounds pretty rough, you move on, because there is somebody out there else that is watching and they are waiting for the opportunity. Y'all, people, like I said, they need help. So many things are going on in their life. So, you know, don't worry about that person that says no. I grant you, I would give my house, I grant you that they will be back at some point in time, if you'll just keep on keeping on. So we're going to get on board by being consistent in the posting about your weight loss or health-related experience, exercise adventures. And I put this on there about consistent in using the product, and time will deliver different results. I've been using Shakeology for a couple of years off and on, and this last time pretty consistent. And it's just different. Each month tends to lend different feelings, different results, different taste buds. And so, you know, present those. And that just means that it's working. Ask your challengers and customers and family, what kind of health issues are you having? when you ask people, hey, what's going on with you? How'd your doctor's visit come out the other day? Well, they said I had diabetes, and I mean, it just gets those topics rolling. I love Tracy's post the other night. Of course, there are some friends of mine that actually Cindy Hinton is my neighbor, and but how it has changed her life, her running program. And so those are the things that people want to hear. And I'm sure Tracy's probably got some response out of those posts too. So, but it's just not about the weight loss. It's about the overall health. If somebody can drop a blood pressure medicine, a diabetes medicine, anything like that, then that's what it's about. Now, as far as the taste, like I said, I have not tried anything other. Well, I take that back. I did try the chocolate. I like the vegan chocolate better. It does not as spicy to me. The regular chocolate seems spicy, if that makes sense. Cafe latte, oh my Lord, I don't like. I'm not a coffee person. I love the smell of coffee. Tried it, but I don't tell people that. I'm like, hey, let's try it. If you don't like it, we'll get you something else. But I like the vegan ones. Now, there's some good tools on our Coach Online office. You can actually hit your Coach Online office, go under the Sales and Marketing tab, and scroll down in that link to Product Toolkits. And actually, you'll have pretty much every one of Beachbody's programs available to you that you can click on. But if you'll click on Shakeology, there is a wealth of knowledge there. And again, y'all, the consistency of using that product and you posting your results would do you so much better than you knowing it has bilberry and flaxseed and lycium berry and quinoa and all this other kind of stuff in this product. If you have somebody who has some pretty serious health issues, converse with their physician, or be a liaison between that medical professional. There's actually a form that I noticed today. I just did not dig deep enough as I've looked through it. There is a medical form that you can print out and somebody can take to their physician and show them what Shakeology has. So I thought that was pretty cool, because people will look for excuses, and we've got an answer for them. So just be ready if somebody says, well, I don't know, I'm going to the doctor Thursday, and hey, well, let me give you this information and you can talk it over with your healthcare provider, and y'all can see if this is something that you want to do. So, and then patience. Learn it, love it, and live it. I saw this today. Lord grant me patience, but please hurry. I have all the patience in the world, and I was telling Rachel, my first challenge group I had 47 in it. I still do. I'm finishing up with them Wednesday. I think I've had 2 people to buy, challenge packs, because everybody and their mama has everything. But I am making some changes. Let me tell you, people see me. I go in Walmart and they're just will come up to you and just literally hug you in the store. Thank you for putting that stuff on there. So you're making a difference, making a huge difference. So that's pretty much all I've got on Shakeology. Anybody have?
Andrea asked a question. For somebody that's diagnosed with diabetes, can this help regulate their sugar levels?
Amen. Yes. Y'all, this product is safe enough for anybody. I have not met anybody yet. Now, there may be, I was trying to think of some cases of people who have are going through chemo. Sometimes some metals and things. I don't think this has metal in it. But if it's severe such as that, print that printout to them and let them take it to their physician. But yeah, y'all, people who have high blood pressure, thyroid issues, diabetes, anything, put it on them. Male, female, kids, go for it. It's good.
Yeah, and one of the things that Melanie taught us to do really well was, like if you get an objection, like I'm writing, like I'm praying and thinking over my Shakeology post tomorrow because I got lots to say. Because like I've gotten so many objections over the past few days, whether it be cost or, I don't want to try Shakeology until I'm really ready to give up all this junk food or, and I'm just like, what? If you want to get healthy, you want to get healthy. And, and I'm going to talk about how Shakeology has been a tool that has helped me like cut the junk. Like it's totally, like Emily said, help me cut the junk. And, these people, like if they fill out my form and tell me what they eat, they drive through 3 drive-throughs in a day. They drink 2 or 3 Cokes. 2 or 3 Cokes cost like $4. I mean, like it just, people don't really get it. And like if you talk about those objections in a post, you don't have to talk about that person or reference them, but like talk about how you make Shakeology fit into your budget. What does it cost you every single day? How does it curb your sugar cravings or keep you full for so many hours? A lot of people, like you said that about carbs. I've had so many people like, why does it have so many carbs in it? Like it's a meal replacement. You're supposed to drink it. It's supposed to keep you full. And so, yeah, I mean, like when you get these objections, which I know you're getting them, like turn it into a post, that's my biggest tip.
Yeah, and another thing I was going to say, nowadays everybody's in the gluten-free stage. I've never seen anything like it, and to me, that's the biggest hoax that there is. There are true people who have celiac disease, but they have been diagnosed through a healthcare physician with celiac disease. Yes, there are individuals who, white processed flours affect them, and they should. We don't need to be putting that in our body anyway. But as far as these products being gluten-free, they are not certified gluten-free, but they use gluten-free products. It's just that they say that sometimes in the plant things become cross-contaminated, and so you may have, certain incidences. Another thing on labels, really quick, Shakeology is a supplement. So if you're looking at Shakeology versus Raisin Bran cereal, Raisin Bran cereal is going to have a nutrition facts, which basically means that this has been certified by our wonderful governmental agency called the FDA. Your supplement facts are not necessarily certified. That doesn't mean that they don't work. They've just not taken that step. Beachbody has not taken that next step to pay all of that money to provide a nutrition label yet. Now, one of these days it may possibly come, but you may get objections about that. I kind of doubt it some, but just know the differences with that. So it's not a biggie with me. But one thing I wanted to say on this ultimate reset that Rachel and I are thinking about doing, y'all, it is phenomenal. It's not necessarily tough, but it's dedication. But you talk about a change, you talk about a way that your digestive system changes. It's amazing, totally amazing. So,
Pretty good. All right. Can you stop that screen share? Can you get out of your screen share up at the top?
Yes.
So does anybody have, I'm going to unmute. Does anybody have questions for Emily or for me or have anything to add to that? Yeah. My cholesterol was cut in half after a year drinking Shakeology. So I need to talk about that again, probably. Does anybody have any questions? Or Dee's really good about talking about Shakeology. Look at some of her posts.
Rachel, this is
real. Huh?
This is Lainey.
Hey, Lainey.
I had an objection from a girl, and she's a friend of mine. She's super picky though. She says I eat weird stuff, and I don't really think I eat weird stuff. And she just couldn't get over the smell. And I don't even think Shakeology has a smell. But like when she mixed it up, and she may have just tried it with ice and chocolate. And she said that, I was like, well, they have other flavors if you wanted to try it. She said chocolate would be what I like. So do you guys have any suggestions for people who personally, I don't say you can't like it. Like, I love the taste. But what do you guys do when you get objections like that?
I think that regular chocolate has a funny smell. I think it does personally. I do, but it's not like, I don't know. I'm just used to my vegan, and I kind of agree with Emily. It's kind of just got like this kick to it. But when I open a bag, Matt drinks regular chocolate, and he loves it. But when I open a bag of it, the smell always just kind of knocks me down. But I get used to it. But I don't. If it's like that for her, I would suggest she try the vegan chocolate, because they are very different tastes. And if she hates it, they'll swap it out for her.
Oh yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting about that too.
Yeah,
she's wanting to talk to me about the workouts, but my fear is she's gonna want the workouts without the whole package.
Yeah.
And so I'll recommend, because now that you mentioned, another friend of mine says the same thing. Like, she likes the vegan better, and her husband likes the full-on chocolate.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and maybe mix up some for her and fix it like you do, and take it to her. Or let her try something like that.
Yeah.
Lainey,
Okay.
the vegan chocolate is a lot more chocolatey than the regular chocolate to me.
I think the opposite, but I don't know. It's just like Coke or Diet Coke,
Yeah. It you can't hardly taste fruit that you put in it unless it's a very strong fruit like banana but like if you put any other kind of fruit in it, it's so chocolatey you don't even taste it.
Okay.
So it's a lot different than the regular chocolate.
Yeah, it's very different.
And tell her to try it with some different milks, like almond milk or cashew milk, something like that.
Okay.
All right. Do y'all have anything else?
There's a lady I was talking to, and she was interested in Shakeology. And she said she was diagnosed with diabetes recently. Would that help her, like her
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The carb to protein to fiber ratio is great. And it would be just as consistent with a meal, but it would be so much more versatile. But yes, definitely. This stuff is very safe for type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes. So yes, there are no objections there.
Okay.
This was awesome, Emily. That was really helpful to me.
Thank y'all.
I appreciate you doing it.
Sure.
All right, guys. Well, if y'all don't have any more questions, then I will let you go, and I will post this recording in our team page, because I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again. Emily, can you share the slides with me, or post them in the page? You can do it as PDF or images or something. That would be good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you guys. Well, thank you. Y'all have a good night, and just let us know if you need anything. All right.
Bye.